Welcome to tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. Tonight we have cosplayer and friend Mary Mercenary.
Hello.
Hello. I've known you guys, Mary. I've known you for quite some time now. Actually, at this point,
eight or 9 years.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah.
Been going to conventions for a very long time, and are usually set up close by.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, can you tell our listeners and viewers a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. I go by Mary Mercenary. That's not my real name. If you know, you know. If you don't, sorry. And I moved up here 8 or 9 years ago with my husband, Aaron, who owns Roma Collectibles. And he said, "Hey, do you wanna dress up and work the booth with me when I work shows?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" And one of the first costumes I did was Zorana. And he said, "Put on a costume, you can be my booth babe, you'll draw people to the booth." And little did he know I got a taste for it, and then I made some friends, and now I just abandon him at shows and go hang out with my friends and cosplay. So I've been doing it, I don't want to say seriously because it's not real serious, but doing it as a hobby for, I guess, since about 2012, 2011 is when I really kind of dove in. So it's been a minute, but yeah. So here's to another decade more.
Yeah. Well, I just started doing some costume stuff, just having fun because I getting older and I don't care. So
yeah.
No,
I think it gets easier the older you get because you just don't care anymore.
No.
It's fine.
The one thing is I started getting fitter, so now I'm not like the pudgy guy in the costume. Now I'm kind of fit, so I'm feeling better about myself.
Hey man, whatever. It's always good to have confidence. So, but you could have done it before; it would have been okay. Cosplay's for everybody.
That's right.
But I'm glad you're feeling confident, so that's good.
Yeah, it took me a while, and now I'm getting my kid into it. A few years ago, I bought him the Altair costume from Assassin's Creed, and he went to a couple conventions, and that kid ate it up.
Yeah,
everybody wanted their picture taken with him, so he's just stopping and doing the whole pose, and I'm like,
gotta get in the pose.
Loving this kid. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and now this year I'm hopefully by the time this drops, so he doesn't know, because this won't drop this week, will drop next Monday. Hopefully our costumes will be in, because I finally splurged and bought us both. I bought him a Jedi and I bought a Sith costume.
Perfect.
So I figured, I'm the dad. I'm the bad guy.
I know your wife does photography, so you've got kind of like that built in. So you've got all kinds of fun shoots that you guys can do. That's awesome.
Yeah, and now if I can get my youngest into it, he likes just wearing the helmets, so he'll walk around with the helmets. So, all right.
Oh man, get the whole family involved. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I've always wanted to ask you this. I probably should have asked you before now. What is your favorite costume to wear at conventions?
So, I don't feel bad. Every time I get this question, it's always a completely different answer. So it's never consistent. I wore Beerus from Dragon Ball. I wore Beerus at the last show we were at. So that's kind of the freshest in my mind. And it always gets pretty good reactions and the poses are fun. So I'm going to say that one right now, but that doesn't mean that will be my favorite, 6 months from now. I really like Cinderella is a lot of fun. Antiope is amazing to do. I think Beerus I like so much because I made so much of it, and it was an easy build just because everything came really easily to it. So for right now, that was my favorite. But I have, I fall in and out of love with my costumes all the time.
I've talked to a couple other cosplayers. It's the same way. They're like, it just depends on what day you ask me. Or if I just had to deal with it at a convention and I just had to put the big old bulky costume on, I'm like, yeah.
Right. Some of the like my Mystique, I love wearing it. I love the reaction. I love the look, but the costume is so uncomfortable that I always swear I'll never wear it again. I can't walk in the boots. So that's one of those where I love the photos, I love how I look in it, I love the reaction, but I hate wearing it. So yeah.
Now, I get to do this. I don't know if you've got to do this. Have you ever got? Because I know you don't have any kids. You have you have nieces and nephews, right?
Yeah.
Ever
Yep.
got to go take
Yep.
trick or treating with them in costume?
So I'm a bum when it comes to Halloween because I generally don't wear, like I don't try for Halloween. I do a lot of store bought and well, last year was we were all stuck inside anyway, but I just wore like a onesie. It was like a big unicorn onesie with like a hood and stuff. I don't, yeah, I'm lazy. I don't usually go all out for Halloween. Now my sister's son is, oh look, kitty cat.
Yeah,
my my
that's the Lucy.
my sister's son is doing Groot, and but they live in another state. So if they lived closer, I would definitely do Rocket. I would definitely do Rocket and Groot because he's adorable. But yeah, no, I'm lazy. I'm not gonna go walking around in Cinderella. I'm just no.
I
I'm a
uh
bum.
I was able to take. I bought full stormtrooper costume right about the time COVID hit, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna
Hmm.
be able to wear it to conventions, and then nothing. So,
Nothing. Yep.
and that's why I legitimately went. You know what? I'm taking a kid trick or treating in a full
Hmm.
stormtrooper costume.
Yep.
I
You know
had to
what?
do
And
it.
at least up here it's not incredibly hot. So I was born and raised in Florida, so at least up here if you're in full stormtrooper, you're not gonna have heat stroke.
Although I'm not gonna lie, it was 70 some degrees out,
Oh,
and it was I'm just sweating inside this helmet and stuff. And it was during the day because they decided to still have trick or treat, but decided to have it actually on Halloween on a Saturday
uh-huh.
at like 2 o'clock
Yeah,
in the afternoon.
which
And
is
I,
which is weird. I've always thought that's weird. We always had Halloween on Halloween, but up here you don't know if it's gonna be on Halloween or before Halloween or after. It's just weird.
here in Piqua, it's usually the Thursday before Halloween.
Thursday. Okay. All
And
right.
it's been like that since I was a little kid, but
Yeah.
and it was what was to keep away from the it's not Halloween, it's trick or treat. So
Right.
it's not worshiping the devil.
Oh. Oh
I
gosh.
remember when schools got rid of trick or treat and they'd had harvest day. My kids are like, it's trick or treat.
Trick or treat. It's trick or treat. It's fine. We're fine.
Oh yeah. Um, what you've put a lot of effort into some of the costumes that I've seen you wear and stuff like that. Some of that's got to be a lot of quote unquote man hours that you put into each costume. Um, what's the one you spent the most time on?
So I was like, let me have my phone here because I know that I'm gonna have to. Again, that's kind of like it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Also, I have to say I work very slowly. I have a very small attention span, so I'll work on something for an hour and then I'll put it down, and I might not pick it up again for another like couple of weeks. So that is I really haven't done too many like large scale. Some of the stuff I'm working on now is going to be bigger. I have a piece she's going to have antlers, so that's going to take a while. But I mean, like Daenerys took a bit because that was a lot of hand stitching. Like all of the braid was stitched on, and there's kind of like detailing, but it didn't really take that long. And again, I work like a turtle. Which, it's fine. I always tell people work as quickly or as slowly as you want. Like cosplay is not my job. So if I want to like pick something up and work on it for a little bit and then put it back down. I redid Antiope's bow. That took quite a bit of time because I was working with Warbler for my first time. My Brienne breastplate took a while, but don't I'm really bad. I don't keep track of how long stuff takes. I should like write stuff down, but
Well, what is it? As soon as it starts becoming tedious and you stop enjoying it and it becomes a job, it's no fun no more.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a big bin full of like halfway finished projects, and you get interested in new things. You see the shiny new thing and you go for that, and you come back to stuff. If you pick it up a year later, that's fine. I made a mock-up for a Cersei Lannister costume like 2 years now, and eventually I'll make the full costume, but the mock-up is just sitting over there mocking me. Like, make me, sew me. Like, that's a lot of embroidery.
What season Cersei?
It's the she wears it in, she might wear it in two, but she wears it in one. It's the red dress with it's got the birds embroidered
Yeah,
here, and then the long, kind of the long
the
sleeves.
big billowy sleeves and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the one with the collar on the back though, because that one's just bizarre. She wears one, the collar comes back like out
Yeah.
and comes around. It's not that one, it's the other red one. She wears it several times. Sometimes she has that like armor corset thing with it, and sometimes it's just a belt. So but it's got a lot of embroidery on it, and I'm a little anxious. Like the dress I can do, it's just the embroidery is I'm gonna have to learn how to do that for that costume. So, and that's, I'm growing my hair out too, so I've got at least a year before the hair is long enough to even remotely be like hers. So it's fine. I got time.
There you go. There you go. That is what's your favorite like genre to cosplay? Because I know you've done the Baroness, you've done GI Joe, you've done comic books, you've done movies, you've done Cinderella. If if they were just like, okay, just pick one, yeah, stick at that one.
If I had to pick one, I would probably stick with comic books, just because there's so much to draw on. There's a comic book about literally everything. If I wanted to stay fantasy based, I could. If I wanted to go with spandex brigade, I could totally do that too. Unless I could go with action figures, just because I like to have the figure of the character I am, so I can examine it up close and flip it over, and you don't know how many times there's no pictures of the back of something, but if I have the figure, I can flip it over and see, okay, this is what the back looks like. So kind of a cop-out answer. I would say action figure or comic book, just
Okay.
because of the range.
Now, is there ever one that you really wanted to do that you just cannot find enough like reference material for?
So this is a little bit apropos. I just did Al Snow from the Ballad of Al Snow and Head. We did a comic cover, Roma Collectibles. We did an exclusive cover with them, and so I made the costume. We were going to meet Al at LexCon, and first, there's no pictures of the back of the costume at all, and also the costume changes from panel to panel, and it was explained to me because it's supposed to be organic, and he is not necessarily grabbing the same thing each time, which is fine. Like it makes sense within the lore, but when you're trying to put together the costume, and the knee piece is shaped this way in this panel and this way in another, and the buckles on the harness aren't the same here, and you can't tell where the strap is going, is a little frustrating. And then some of the GI Joe, there's a GI Joe one that I have plans for that I can't talk about, that I can't tell. There's some strapping, and I have no idea. It doesn't make sense in real life because it doesn't attach. It's just there. What is this doing? So
it's it's comic book physics and comic book design. It doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It does when you wear it. Like, it has to stay on. Like, how does this attach? So yeah,
That's like,
that happens all the time.
I do Red Hood, and when you put the helmet on and then you're supposed to wear a hoodie over that, I have a big head, so the helmet's
Yeah, me
big
too,
on
man.
top of it. So the hoodie is like really tight, but in the
Yeah,
comic book it's kind of, I'm like, I'm
it's more
gonna,
billowy.
yeah. I was like, to have that hood, your hood would be massive,
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be that tight up against your head because it's a comic book, so it's drawn perfectly on top of somebody's face. But
yeah.
no,
Oh, those I have it's a Punisher helmet. It looks like an Iron Man helmet, but it's
yeah,
Punisher. It was like
right
a
there.
Marvel Legend.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have it, and you can wear it, but it makes your head just huge, and
Yeah.
it looks nothing like the comic, and I'm broad shouldered, thank God, because I mean, if you were like a more petite person, it would like come out come out to like your collarbones or something. So yeah, it's claustrophobic in there. And if they made it any tighter, it'd be unwearable. So it's like,
Well, I
this is
have
not.
I got the 2 Power Ranger helmets, the red and the green, and they're produced by,
Mm,
was it Bandai? I have the
yeah.
white Power Ranger helmet that's produced by Hasbro, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like form fitting, so it's like this. If
Oh,
I open my mouth sticks out the bottom of the
yep.
helmet.
Yep.
And I was like, that's how it would actually fit. So when
Mm-hmm.
you wear the helmets that were actually proportionate to the thing, they look huge. I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh. I,
Yeah.
I like mess around playing with my kids with them, but there's no way I could wear that White Ranger helmet any length of time.
No, if I do that version of the Punisher, which I've started, but will I finish? Who knows? But no, it's gonna be like held under the arm. Like we'll just do Punisher and just hold it. And they're like, here's my helmet that I'm not wearing. I have glasses too, so that's you know
Oh
that's a
yeah,
problem. They don't fit under there, and I need them to see.
yeah.
So
You can't, no contacts, huh?
I can't wear contacts. No, I have prisms in my lenses, so they can't put prisms in contacts. So if I'm not wearing them, I walk around looking like a crazy mole person. So I have to wear them.
Yeah, that's unfortunately with Tina. She's with her being, she has macular degeneration.
Mm.
So her one eye literally has a fist-sized dead spot in the middle,
Oh,
and then her other eye is she needs she needs glasses. So she has one really thick glass that, and she wears contacts occasionally.
yep,
So she can't see me
yep.
next to her when she's not wearing her glasses. So if she
No,
wears a
I'm in.
costume, wearing the
Yeah,
glasses.
I'm in the Coke bottle brigade too. So mine are pretty thick. But we go with it's what we got. We make it work.
You got to
So
run with it. Um,
yep.
okay, if you have the time and the money, or you can just buy it, what would be your costume that you would love to do? Just absolutely, just like, yes, this is it right there.
So I love Eva Green and the 300 sequel slash prequel Rise of Empires or Rise of Empire or
Yeah,
something. Anyway, she's Artemisia in it.
yeah,
She's got it's the spoiler alert, the one at the end where she gets killed. It's all leather and then it's got like gold spikes that go down the back. I just want to do that costume so badly. And I don't know enough leather work right now to do it, but yeah, she's got a cool sword and a cool like her. It's just it's great. She's beautiful. That movie is wonderful. Her costume is
yeah.
fantastic. So
She is the best part of that entire movie, though, too.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I just yeah, I love her. I love her. So
Eva Green's one of the ones I wanted. Was it her and Oscar Isaacs to be Morticia and Gomez at one time, and
yeah,
then we're not getting that. I'm like, oh man.
no.
So
So yeah, that's usually the one that I want something with wings at some point, even though wings are awful to deal with, but I want something with wings.
I almost ordered me a big set of wings, and I just was like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with these. I don't.
Right. Yeah, I think if I make them, they're gonna have to be like mounted to the ceiling, something because our house is small. And I'm not sure. This is my craft room that I'm in, and I'm looking around and it's not. So
No, that's
again, it's fine.
so.
Worry about that.
You know, if, I gotta ask you, this gotta go the bad way. I've heard great stories. People love going to conventions in costume and stuff like that. But then there's always the a-holes out there.
Right.
Um, you know, I hate to say this, I've had issues. I mean, I didn't think I would have any issues. Full Red Hood costume. I had some woman grab my butt. I'm
Yep.
like, what? Now, do you think it's just because you think you're in costume that they think that you're just part of the show that they can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people will do and say things in person and online to people who are cosplayers that they would never say to somebody or do to somebody in a real life situation. Yeah. I think because they think you are putting yourself out there on display, you are there for them to consume. So if I'm going out in a costume, I must want this interaction. Like, I want you to pay attention to me. I want you to interact with me. And some people might think, that means I want them to touch me, whether it is a friendly hug or, more like a grope. Like, they must think that, hey, well, you wouldn't dress this way, you wouldn't do this if you didn't want my attention. So yeah, I think it's because you are part of, as you said, you're part of the show. You are the act. You are there to entertain them. So yeah, I think that's it for sure.
Yeah. Now, like I said, you've been, I've I've seen you at shows without Aaron, and it's fun because you're just there having fun in costume and enjoying your life and enjoying everything. Um, is there somebody that you like look up to that has made that, or if you it was just like, you just were like, no, this is what I'm gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's not necessarily like, it's not like anyone who is, necessarily famous in the community or anything like that, but I'm very lucky and unlucky. I'm very lucky that I have a core group of friends in this community. None of them live here, which is super sad. They're all kind of based more on like the East Coast DC area. But I happen to kind of fall in with them through GI Joe costuming, and it spun out. But they do more than Joe, of course. But yeah, like Joe and Maggie are both incredibly talented costumers that I can look up to for who they are as people, as well as what they can do with costuming. So yeah, that's I don't really get too starstruck with cosplayers from the community, but people who are good and genuine people who are also incredibly talented. I feel like I kind of hit the jackpot there. Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately, I know there's a lot of quote unquote cattiness in the cosplay, depending on which one it is, because you get the ones who are like, oh, it's you got a costume within your body type, or you got a costume within your race or your color, and
Right.
and I think it's bullcrap. I mean, like I said, I had to get comfortable with myself personally because that was just a health
Yeah.
issue for me. But if you were having fun, have fun. But there's just you just get so much that people are like, no, you shouldn't be wearing that. Whatever. It's like, you know what? Whatever. It's a hobby and enjoying it. So
Yeah, I think maybe because I'm a little older and I consume less social media than some folks who are maybe younger, or people who have, because I've had some negative experiences on social media, so I just don't. I'm on Instagram and I have a Facebook page for my cosplay, but I don't really have a personal page that I use. I don't do Tumblr, if Tumblr is even still around. I don't do Reddit. I don't do Twitter. Um, so I guess since maybe I'm not involved in that, I don't necessarily see as much of a negative. I know it's there, absolutely, but I try to kind of curate who I interact with and who I don't. So I think my core group is pretty good about, hey, it's cosplays for everyone. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your ethnicity, your race, it doesn't matter your ability. And it certainly doesn't matter your body size and shape. So it's for everybody. There's uh, the fact that people that like body shaming, fat shaming is still a thing. I know a lot of cosplayers who are considered overweight or heavier don't get a lot of the same accolades that someone who is thinner, even if they put as much effort or more, or are high, have more skill. So I know it can kind of be a struggle, but that's kind of why I try to curate my group to be kind of good and positive people, because I don't have time for cattiness and I don't have time for pettiness and any of that. I'm too old for that. I'm way too old for that.
that's one of the benefits to getting older is you just don't have time for crap.
Right. No, no, just be kind to people. You don't know what people are going through in their personal life. And if somebody is cosplaying in a way that you don't like, don't engage with it.
No,
Move on.
See,
find something you like.
that's like the people that get upset at the people that either make their costumes or buy their costumes. I'm
Right.
like, if you have fun, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's, like, I know you've probably, you make a lot of your stuff, but you've probably bought pieces and stuff that are pre-made,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, most of my Joe stuff is pre-made because a lot of it is like paramilitary, or you're going to look like, if I'm doing a fem trooper, I want to match all the other fem troopers. If I'm a viper, I want to match all the other vipers. That stuff is mostly bought. There's always a little bit of customization, but it's like sewing patches on or making, the red pieces on the viper and stuff like that. Cinderella, not made by me. Antiope, not made by me. Now, if somebody asks me about it, if I like your costume, I will tell them who made it. I'm not going to pretend that I made it, but I'm also not ashamed to say, well, this was made by so and so, because I'm also supporting an artist at that point. This person made this beautiful thing. Here, go and. But I'm not about to come after somebody. I was like, oh, great costume. Where did you get it? Give me I want to know. Like, I'm not going to ask them 1,000 questions. And if they bought it at Party City, who cares? They're having fun. I still like it. So, it's the only time that matters is if you are in a costume club that requires you to make your own costumes, or if you're in competition. If you're competing, then yes,
Yeah.
but you just have, otherwise just have fun. It's fine.
I'm slowly building enough to get my Viper costume. I just got to buy the helmet.
Okay.
So I've got like the vest, I've got the guns, I've got the boots, the whole. I just gotta buy that expensive helmet. So
yeah, and they're so Pit Viper was the one that used to make them, and they are no longer operating. But there are some folks now who are kind of stepping in to fill that role. So yeah, you should be able to find one. Yeah,
and I
I protect mine.
I can hide this mug with a helmet. So
Oh man, it's so wearing a helmet is so freeing, except people will take your picture. I still smile under there, but it's so freeing because you can just deadpan.
yeah.
Except you can't hear anything in a Viper helmet at all. And you're gonna have to like type your goatee.
Oh yeah, I got when I did trick or treat and I wore I have a shadow trooper, stormtrooper. So I'm like this.
Yep.
So I got it up underneath the bodysuit, everything.
Yep.
And then you
tuck
can't
it
see,
in.
yeah. And
Yep.
this will all be gone soon. I decided that's going to go.
Oh, are you gonna cut it off?
I'm going bald. I need to get rid of it. Deciding if I'm going to shave it, just go bald, or just cut it really short and be that guy. I don't know.
Full on skullet. Just keep growing it out. Full on. Oh no, you can rock the skullet. Just have it be super long. We'll braid it.
Well, the worst part about it was at one time I had hair that if I reached just behind my back, I could grab my ponytail.
Yeah.
And I always joke around with my kids. I was like, I had hair before you guys came along. And I'm like, nah, it's a lie. I've always had thin hair because I was born with thin hair. So
You know what? Just bald is beautiful. Just shave it. Aaron's bald. Just
yeah.
be Captain Picard's bald. The Rock's bald. Be bald. It's fine.
Well, what was funny was I found out this year was I turned 47, and I found out that the year Star Trek: The Next Generation started, Patrick Stewart was 47. I'm like,
see,
if he can rock it at 47, I can rock it at 47.
Yep. Just tight, shave it off, keep it nice and clean, yeah. It's good. Just embrace it, or skull it again. Skull it. Just
go for the Hogan. Go for the Hogan.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the worst.
That's pretty bad.
I hate Hulk Hogan. Sorry.
Oh, I'm not. No. I'm not a fan. He's not my favorite.
It's like I've been around and everybody's like, you don't like Hulk Hogan? I'm like, no, I don't like Ultimate Warrior. I never liked Ultimate Warrior either. So
that's all a little bit before my time. Like I never saw any of that. Well, I never didn't watch wrestling as a kid, so I only picked it up in the Attitude Era when everyone watched it, and then again we started rewatching or I did in 2018. So no, I didn't see any Hulk Hogan. I quit right before the WCW WWF merge too, so I completely missed him. He was not in my sphere of influence ever.
Unfortunately, that's my right age for everything.
Yeah.
I was an NWA kid that watched the Road Warriors and Sting and stuff like that, and then all of a
Hmm.
sudden, WCW or WWF got huge. So,
Yeah.
did you guys get to go to AEW in Cincinnati?
No, we went to the pay-per-view in Chicago.
Yeah, I,
It was amazing.
I, everybody keeps asking me. They're like, "Did you go?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "I know you don't watch wrestling now, but you say you go to live events." I was like, "I know." I was like, the problem was I forgot AEW was in Cincinnati, and the dog is now attacking me over here. And
I saw the tail.
yeah,
Saw the tail go
ain't
by.
that right, Abby? That's the wife's dog.
All I see is wagging tail, just like
Yeah, she's
barely in frame.
go lay down. I know she loves coming over here and just getting up underneath my arm while I'm filming, or she
Yep.
lays at my feet.
Yep. Just right there.
And they're like, "You didn't go to AEW?" And I was like, "No, I forgot until last minute." And literally, was it the day I was at a concert, so there was no way I could go anyway. So
Yeah, we went up for the pay-per-view. We did the Rampage taping, and then we did the pay-per-view. And when we came home, Aaron was like, "Well, let's try to get to the Cincinnati show." But it was the day before we left for LexCon, so there was just no way. And I was exhausted. This last month we've just been traveling. We've had people in town. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. We just did the pay-per-view. It was amazing. I know, let's just take a break. So like I'm sad I missed it, but at the same time, Chicago was great. So I don't like I'm gonna be on that high for a long time. So I don't need to go back right yet.
I, I know you guys travel around a lot. Is do you ever just get like, no, just you go. I'm good. I'm staying home.
Oh yeah, well so I don't always go with him. I mean, up until the pandemic was doing, 30 shows a year, and I wouldn't do more than a handful of them because he would take Kenny. Um, I've kind of started going with him more, but since we're about to, open a shop, that's going to slow way down. So I've never done the full year of touring, and I'm not sure that I could. I'm a homebody. I like being at home. I like my stuff. I like my dog. I like my bed. So it would definitely would have been no you.
Yeah,
I also like my alone time. So like,
that's one thing I don't miss. I watch all you guys, especially Aaron and stuff, watching him post pictures and stuff, and he's all over doing conventions. I was like, yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that no more. I
yeah,
did that
it,
all through the 90s and into the early 2000s, and I'm like, nah,
mhm.
I'm good. I'm good.
It's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of fun. But we were talking about this. We went to see Morgan Lofting, the
Mhm.
voice of the Baroness. We saw her. She's a friend of ours, and so we went to see her at Cincinnati Comic Expo, and we haven't seen her in a while, so we were chatting, and we started talking about Joe Con Dallas because he ever said that's the only Joe Con we actually went out into the city, because people ask us all the time, "Oh, you get to see the country?" I'm like, "No, we get to see very specific parts of the country, like the convention center and this restaurant and this hotel, and that's all we see." So yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's not like this glorious trip across America. It's a
Yeah.
glorious trip from hotel to hotel.
I used to be that way, and then once Tina started going with me, we started making actual plans to go do something at night to
Yeah.
enjoy. Like we go to Chicago, it was just be going to the convention, whatever. And now it's like, okay, conventions, we're going to go here, we're going to see this, we're going to
Hmm.
do that. Atlanta was the same way. We just got to the point where we had to, because unfortunately, being in this business, I didn't actually have vacation time. So
Right.
I had to make the convention time vacation time at the same time.
Hmm.
So instead of just work, now I can actually go on vacations and not have to have them coincide with with the convention.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. I guess Chicago was the first. vacation that we had. We went to Las Vegas earlier in the summer, and but we ended up we went to a Star Trek convention with friends, but so it ended up still being around a convention. I was like, oh God, I can't. Like, I love my friends. It was so much fun. I'm glad we went, but we didn't get to do very much stuff because it was also a convention. So I think Chicago was the.
Oh, really? Here. I know it was funny because I saw some of you guys' pictures Aaron posted of you guys out there in Vegas in Star Trek costumes. That was kind of funny. So
yeah, that was fun. It was very stressful. It was very, very stressful getting ready for that convention though. So it was fun. But
I'm trying to get Tina to go to Vegas because I figure that would be the one place she'd want to go, but she's afraid to fly. So always fun trying to get. That's why we tend to be East Coast.
Yeah.
Any place we can drive.
Yeah.
So
Vegas is fine. I don't know that I need to go back though. So I mean, you're probably like, the buffets weren't open either, and that was like the one thing that I wanted to do because I love to eat. I love to eat, and I love to eat a lot at one time, and the buffets were closed, so it was fine. I'm glad I went, but yeah.
It's one thing I'd like to do, and she likes to gamble a little bit, and I'm not a gambler, so
no,
I'd just be like, I want to go to I want to go see the shows. I want to go see actual Vegas.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go because I got offered a job out there years upon years ago to manage a hotel in Henderson, Nevada. So part of me wants to go see if that's still there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh nope, doesn't exist anymore. Good, I didn't take that hotel.
Yeah, maybe post pandemic I would like to go to kind of cease and not go for a con, but yeah, it's good. But yeah, we don't take vacations either, so or we travel separately. I'll go home to Florida and he stays here, so it's like
we finally got 2 years ago, first vacation that was actually vacation. We went to New Orleans.
Okay.
And the wife she's like, before we go, she goes, you want to go see wrestling? I'm like, what? Sure. So I went all the way to New Orleans and watched wrestling. So
you don't watch any AEW, WWE, you just do live shows? I haven't watched
anything since just at the beginning of the pandemic. I got kind of I go through this in stages. When I was young, I would love it, just be totally into it, and then get out of it, and then I'll come back, and then I'll get back into it for a while, and then I'll get out of it, and I'm just going through that again. It's okay. I'm looking at it because literally some of my favorite wrestlers are, I Kenny Omega's one of my top 5 wrestlers of all time, and I followed him since way back when in Japan and stuff like that, and all these guys are coming back, I'm like, maybe it's about time I get back into it, but I keep up on it, but I don't watch it.
Don't watch it week to week. Yeah, I got you.
Unfortunately, I did watch. Do you watch Dark Side of the Ring?
Oh yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, I can't.
No.
It was too much.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna watch that show. I like the one about Brian Pillman.
Oh, yeah.
I think because it did have a little bit, you do get to see his son, and there was a little bit of like levity, but the last one was just like,
that one was heartbreaking. I'm
like, I can't. Nope.
But it's one of the ones where you watch it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch. Oh. It's like, as much as I grew up on and I started getting into it, was World Class Championship Wrestling, which is a Von Erich family. And then you can't go back and watch any of that stuff. It's just so depressing.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch any of that, but I think we all know.
Yeah. Now,
like that family.
Would you ever cosplay as a wrestler outside of Al Snow?
Yes, and I have. So I can't, I pulled up on my phone, but it's like it messes with the lighting. And it would probably just show up as a white blur. But uh, so we had a watch party for the Royal Rumble, and I dressed up as Prince Albert. So I wore a flesh colored wig cap and just tucked all my hair under it, and I drew drew this mustache Fu Manchu thing, and stuck a bunch of fake piercings all over my face. And then I have a shirt that looks like a naked, like hefty man chest. So I wore that and put a pillow underneath, and it was great. It was I really traumatized my friends via Zoom. It was good. So, but I want to do China once I get my little. I need a little bit more arm. I mean, they're getting there, but they're just flexing now. All
Yeah,
it is.
I know.
I want to do China, and I I really really want a Gangrel costume because I love I love Gangrel so much. I just love the maroon.
Didn't you do Darby Allin too?
Well,
The
yeah,
face?
I did. Yeah, I just did the face paint for one of the first shows we did, and I did Wendy Richter for Dragon Con
Oh
like
shit, yeah.
5 years ago, which was basically a bathing suit and a wig, and that was fun.
And elbow pads and knee pads. That's back in the
Yeah, I
day.
did. I made them out of spandex.
That was back in the day when women's wrestlers, they just wore basically like exercise, like
Yeah,
stuff.
it was. Yeah, just it looked like a bathing suit, so that's what I got. I got a bathing suit, and then I put designs on it and add some spandex pieces, and that was it. So yeah, but yeah, I would absolutely do some wrestling
Need to
costumes.
do Luna Vachon, do the big poofy hair,
Oh,
the lightning bolts on the face.
so that would be difficult because she's got like this side shave thing, and so I would either have to slick it back because you can't do a side shave wig very easily because it just but and she's just crazy. I
Oh
don't know that
yeah,
I could be that I can't talk like her. My
yeah.
voice would just you know.
Well, it's like I met her
Yeah,
dad years
she's
ago.
great, but I
Oh,
don't know.
and I thought for sure that that was just like a made up voice, and then I met her dad. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's 100% her real voice. But that was when I was, oh god,
Uh,
early convention series. So uh
yeah,
back when you could actually meet people and walk up to them and talk to them. So
yeah.
um oh man, trying to remember. I had a like one other question, maybe something like that. This is bad. I had my list and I don't know what my kid did with it. He comes over and steals my
Oh,
notebooks.
it happens. It
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, it happens to me all the time.
Um, all right. We asked your favorite costume. What's your least favorite costume? One that you've made, you put on, and you're like, never again.
Gosh, there's one, and now it's escaping me, and I'll remember it. I'll remember it later for sure. Um, One I absolutely hate, and it's not because it was poorly made. I didn't make it. Joe and Maggie made it. Nothing wrong with the construction, so it's not that. But it's you know the dancing girl, the USO girl costume from
Yeah.
Captain America. So we did Avengers, and I was Thor. So it was that dress, and it was in Thor coloration, had a cape and everything. I just hated it. I hated the way that it looked. I hated the way that I felt in it. It just didn't come together, and I've worn it like 3 times, and I just hate it. I hate wearing it so much. Like I said, it's not, it fits me. It's not poorly made. I just really hate it. And there was one that I did, yeah, there was one that I did recently, and I can't remember. I guess I just put it out of my, I
Like
put it out of my brain. But oh, Zatanna, I don't like my Zatanna costume at all. Like I don't feel good in it, and I don't know why. It fits me. I love corsets, and I don't mind showing my legs off, and it has both of those things. I just don't like it. I don't know why, and I will probably never wear it to convention again. So it's a shame. But I just hate it.
the well, what's funny is I know you do cross play. and I have another
Mhm.
friend. She does crossplay. What's a crossplay that you really want to do that you just like? Yeah, that's just definitely it.
Trying to think what crossplay. I have a friend that I want to do Sam and Dean from Supernatural, and I want to like crossplay for it. But I'm taller. I'm like significantly taller than he is, so he wants me to do Sam, and my boy is Dean. So I haven't like I want to be Dean, but it doesn't work because he's short and I'm tall. So I haven't bitten the bullet yet. Also, um, chest binding is painful. Although I've never used an actual binder, I've used ace bandages, and that is a no-no. So let me, if you have any fledgling cosplayers out there, do not use ace bandages. It is invest in a binder made for trans people. Do not use. It's bad for you. Don't do it. But yeah, that's I want to do this. This is androgynous. I want to do Gabriel from Constantine, who was
Total
oh, the
Swinton.
really yes. So I guess that's more androgynous than it would be truly like crossplay. But
It'd be like
I
saying
want
you want to cosplay as David Bowie. You just
right. It's just kind of.
yeah.
But yeah, I love Tilda Swinton in that role, and the costume is crazy and fantastic, and the broken wings. So yeah, kind of want to do that
Yeah.
as well.
I that's the movie I was like, who's this Tilda Swinton? And the next thing you know, she's everywhere, and you're like, that woman's
Right.
great.
Yeah.
You just I loved her. I even liked her in was it The Dead Don't Die as the weird samurai or ninja. Have you seen that yet with Bill Murray? And
Not seen that one though. Uh-uh.
it's a zombie film meets an art house film, and she plays this weird coroner that's like a ninja alien. It's hard to explain, but she's great in it.
That makes sense for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she takes some strange roles. I mean, she's a unique looking person that kind of lends herself to unique roles. So yeah, I just love her. I think she's just neat. I
Oh,
think she's neat. So
have
yeah.
you ever seen the photo shoot she did with David Bowie where they were costuming as each other? So she
No,
was
but do
dressed as
they,
David Bowie and he was dressed like her.
could you tell them apart? They probably look
Not
exactly
really. They
like,
look
yeah, like, that's funny. I know, I'll have to look that up.
yeah. It's that's just one of the things I like David Bowie and I like her, and I think that was just a fun shoot that
Yeah.
they did. So
Yeah, they seem
um
similar people.
yes, I think they're the same body, just the same
Yeah.
person, just a different timeline,
Yeah.
different universes. So what would be funny is I always thought, because you did Star Trek, you did the old school Star Trek costume
Yeah.
at a convention I remember you at years ago. And
Hmm.
since I saw those pictures of the gender swap Star Trek cast, I always thought you should have done gender swap Captain Kirk.
Yeah, I could do a Kirk. Yeah, I see. I'm not super up on TOS. I've watched like a little bit of it, but not like it's really hard. When you grew up on TNG, going to TOS is kind of like, all right, Mud's women. Okay, salt vampires. All right, there's a gladiator episode. All right. So I'd probably have to watch a little bit more to kind of pick up those mannerisms.
Yeah, I was rewatching the original Star Trek a while back, and I was like, wow, some of those did not age well. Especially
Yeah.
the last episode where the girl goes insane because she can't be a captain because there's no women captains in the Star Trek
Oh,
universe. And you're just like, what? This doesn't make any sense to Star Trek. So
no. Yeah, I didn't make it. I didn't make it too far. I kind of like I've sporadically and I've seen the movie with the whales. See, my friends get so mad at me. They're like, "You've seen that one?" I'm like, "Yeah, the whales, the good one."
the Wrath of Khan's the good one. That's the
I
second good one.
everyone says that, but his like chest piece is bothersome. The makeup is weird. I don't know.
Well,
I keep telling Aaron we should watch all of them, and he's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to watch all of them." I'm like, eh.
I do it about once a year. I will watch all of them, even the horrible first one. It's painful to get through. I still will watch it. And then the fifth one is painful to get through too. But has the Catwoman in there, and I think that's the only reason anybody ever watches it. So
Oh yeah, I've seen people cosplay her, and I didn't know what it was. I had no, because I've seen, like, I was like, what is this cat? What is this cat thing? And I'm like, oh no, that's canon. Oh, okay, there's cat people. All right.
yep.
And now there's doesn't Lower Decks have a
Yeah.
cat person?
Yeah, the cat
Yeah. I
doctor.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't seen that either, but I think I'm gonna.
It's
I
so
don't like
good.
the animation style
Oh,
though,
it's
so we'll see. I
I
like
don't
the
even pay
uniform.
attention to the animation style on that. It's just a good show. It pokes fun at everything Star Trek,
Hmm.
and it just works well. So
Yeah, I might give it a go. I've kind of, my friends have been leaning on me a little bit about it, so
I had
I might.
I had Mark lean on me, and he got me to watch Discovery, and then I burnt through all of
Oh,
Discovery. I'm like, I was like, I should have watched it because it had Michelle Yeoh in it. I love her, and
yeah.
so um okay da, 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 all right. I think that might be done. I think I went through everything. Yay. Which
Yeah.
is which is odd for me because I usually have questions after the bad, because I'll remember a question after we get done talking. Uh and I'll come up to you at the next show and be like, you're like, what? And I'm like, oh, that's the question I forgot to ask you at the end of the.
Just get the camera and say, what is, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Get a,
And it never fails. You guys gonna be at the next Xenia show, at the Xenia Toy Show?
the Great Ohio?
Yes.
Yes, we will. That's like 2 weeks
Two,
from
two
now.
or
So
three.
1 week from when this is
Yeah,
released.
1 week from this when this airs, I believe. So what is the
Yeah.
yes. I don't have my calendar up, so I can't tell you.
Yeah, I've got, yeah, I got nothing. Yeah, yes, we'll be there. So
And when are you guys looking to get your shop open?
so I don't know the exact date because I haven't been clearance to
Oh, you ain't
given
got
clearance to
clearance?
talk
Okay.
about the exact date, but it's early to mid-November. Like the ball is rolling, things are happening, so it's going to happen. But I don't want to say the exact date. But if you follow Roma Collectibles on social media, we're on Facebook and Instagram. I believe there's a Twitter, but I think it's just connected to the Instagram. But you can follow us there, and we will have all the updates as they go. So as soon as we have a date, that'll be up. We've got some like preliminary logos and stuff up people can look at. So
Okay.
the ball is rolling.
The ball is rolling. Okay, what's the next convention you're going to be at, and if you know the cosplay you're going to be at?
Ooh. So that I don't know. I'm going to be working the next few, so I don't know. I have some Halloween themed things that I'm going to be doing, but I don't know the next one that I will be free to cosplay. That's an excellent question that I don't have an answer to right now. I would love to wear Cinderella again, but that probably won't be till 2022. So sorry,
I know
it's not a good answer.
No, it's good. It's an answer. It's a good answer. You've done you've gone and
Yeah.
visited kids and stuff as Cinderella, haven't you?
Oh, so at the beginning of the pandemic, I was reading as Cinderella. I was doing a story time with Cinderella, and I did that maybe 5 times, 5 or 6. No, because I did some as Wonder Woman too. And I don't know that I want to go and visit people, because that, like, there's a whole other thing that goes along with when you are actually going out and being a character. There's a lot of pressure because you are becoming that character, and I don't know that I could be that good. Also, that dress was expensive, and I don't want little hands touching me.
Um,
I would absolutely do the dress is being fitted to me. It's we're corseting the back so it fits a little bit better to accommodate whatever size I am. But yeah, I would do that again. I would definitely. That was a lot of fun. I think that was good.
And there comes my youngest. Say hi, Vince.
Hello. Goodbye.
He's like, nope. He's that's my youngest. I don't know if I ever told you, he has autism, and
Yeah.
he gets where he will be really, really friendly with everybody, and then he won't want to do nothing with nobody. So he's gonna come down here. What you doing, bud? You find your crowns? Okay. So
It's okay. I'm super weird. I wouldn't want to talk to me either. So
oh, he deals with me as his dad every day. Ain't that right, bud? You gonna go play Blue's Clues? Okay. He's got to take his notebook everywhere and do all of his clues. Any advice for cosplayers out there that are just starting?
yeah, I would say YouTube is your friend if you're, I mean, if you're going in the direction where you want to start like crafting things on your own, whether it's sewing or working with foam or learning to do makeup or style a wig, I would say just jump into YouTube. And you just have to kind of start doing it. You're going to make mistakes. That's okay. You're going to cry. That's okay too. You essentially have to learn as you go. Nobody starts out amazing doing this. And that's fine. I would say try to talk to people, but as an introvert, that's very hard. And the only friends I have are the ones that adopted me. So if you're extroverted, definitely go out and talk to people. And if you're introverted, I guess just lurk in people's vicinity. And everyone likes a compliment. So you can always say, I like your costume. That might lead to, might lead somewhere. So yeah, just jump in and do it. It's okay to fail.
Go in with both feet. Just get in.
Go in with both feet.
All right. Well, I want to thank you a lot for coming on. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And like I said, eventually I'll come up to you at the next con and be like, here's the question I was going to ask you. This is what but and like I said, I do appreciate it. It does mean a lot to anybody that comes on the show. And knowing you guys, I consider you guys friends. I missed a lot of you guys when we weren't doing conventions, because it was like, I have my friends, my convention friends and stuff like that, and it's really hard not being able to see you guys. Because I get some of you guys I see more than my family. So
oh yeah. I get home like twice a year, but I go to conventions a lot more than that. So yeah.
So
definitely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will see you at the next show, and have fun, and tell Erin I said hi, and gonna have to say goodnight.
Yeah.
So take care, and I will see you later.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. And just exit out on your end, and we are good to go.
Okay. If you have any
have
anything else, send me some details so I can plug the show and stuff.
Okay, I will
Yeah,
I will send you some soon. So
okay.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, thank you for watching tonight's episode of the Group Therapy Podcast. As always, the Group Therapy Podcast is brought to you by Are You Game, the best comic book collectible video game store in all of Pickle, Ohio. Remember to watch Saturday morning serials every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, or whenever you want to watch Saturday morning serials. And this is Paul and Vincent telling you to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and enjoy today's episode. And we will be back with more next week. Later. Good night.